Welcome back and welcome to Advice of Council. We bring in our buddy Julian Council, host of Locked On Panthers. Julian, I'll start with the Panthers debut of Sam Darnold, 279 yards, 200 plus in the first half, one touchdown pass, one rushing touchdown. Thought he showed off a good arm for a while. So what advice would you give to fans who thought Darnold was done after 3 years with the Jets?
You know, we're not always good at doing this in life, but maybe we should just wait, be patient, and let things play out. Sam Darnold looked really good today, and I was happy to see it for him. Of course, the revenge game, as it was dubbed, against his former team, the Jets, and he didn't really play into it with the media, but he did admit a little bit afterwards that it was weird to look across the field and see some of the guys that he was teammates with just a few short months ago and played with for 3 years up there in New York. So he looked fantastic. I understand the reasons why Carolina brought him here, being young at the age of 24, having been the number 3 overall pick, the talent that he has, and the physical attributes that he has that Teddy Bridgewater just did not have. Now, Teddy looked good today for Denver, but the Carolina Panthers were hoping to get an upgraded guy who could be their starting quarterback for the next 10, 15 years, and hopefully that will be Sam Darnold. I've certainly been someone who was a little critical of the decision because I thought it was curious that they would opt to go with Darnold opposed to maybe looking in the draft and taking a Justin Fields or a Mac Jones, two guys who were sitting there at number 8 overall, but they like Sam and they like what they have around him, and if he goes out there and plays the way he played, especially in the first half today, throughout the season, he's going to end up winning a lot of games here in Carolina this season and beyond and earn himself a lot of money. So a lot of positives to take away from Sam Darnold today against his former team, the Jets. Now, it was just the Jets. We'll see what he looks like next week against the Saints, but I really love what I saw from Sam Darnold today. Didn't really took care of the football outside of that one fumble, but it was going to be a turnover on downs either way, so not a huge deal, but looked really good in the game. The deep ball's also back, that long pass to Robbie Anderson. Really excited about what Sam Darnold has in store for this team this year if he continues to look like he looked today.
Julian, would have loved more than 19 points on offense, though. 4 of 14 on third down, 1 of 4 in the red zone. Who's to charge for these situational woes that really bleed back from last year? Personnel, coaching, what do you think?
Well, I don't think it's personnel. McCaffrey wasn't around for 13 games last season. They certainly got him the ball 30 times today. So I don't think it's personnel. Teddy Bridgewater no longer here to scapegoat. And you look today, they're 1 for 4 in the red zone when it comes to touchdown percentage. That's just not good enough. And it's something that going back to the preseason, they talk about they were being really vanilla. Well, were they vanilla once again today when it came to the play calls in the red zone? It's got to be on Joe Brady, right? Joe Brady came in with all the hype after the 2019 National Championship down at LSU. Looked really good last year. You got to give him a ton of credit. He had 4 guys last season, went over 1,000 yards from scrimmage, and that's with McCaffrey not being available for 13 of the 16 games. But going into this year, you got Darnold, add in Dan Arnold, who you think is going to be a red zone threat. Ian Thomas now, that throw that Sam had to him, that's on Sam. That's on Sam, but Ian's got to come up with that some way, somehow. Travis Kelce kind of type would get that ball, but it's got to be the personnel. It's got to be the coaching, not the personnel when it comes to the red zone inefficiency of the Carolina Panthers. You look at the same players from last year, different quarterback, same coordinator. I'm thinking they're leaning more on Joe Brady for the issue the Carolina Panthers red zone struggles so far. Hopefully, moving forward, it will change. But based on what we've seen in 17 games so far, dating back to last year and this one, I don't know if that's going to be the case.
Well, the defense bailed this Panthers team out with a first half shutout, 6 sacks of rookie quarterback Zach Wilson, and the takeaway. Can this unit have this type of performance against a team not named the New York Jets?
Well, they're going to have to, hopefully, especially if the offense is going to stall out like they did in the second half today and only scored 19 points. But I think the offense is going to be a lot better moving forward. And this defense is a unit I think a lot of people coming into the season hoped could be top 10. If you look at the numbers in the last half of the season last year, they played like a top 10 unit. Brian Burns, Hassan Reddick, meet me at the quarterback, 6 sacks today. They looked fantastic, and they're going to have to play that well against the New Orleans Saints team that whooped up on the Packers, and a Saints team that has a far better offensive line than the one that the Jets offered today. And especially when Mekhi Becton went down with that knee injury, and they had to put in George Fant at left tackle, the Jets had no chance. Zach Wilson got welcomed to the NFL, and that was my kind of the main key to the game going into it, was trying to make his day miserable. And I think this defense successfully went out there and did that. Brian Burns said as much, that they wanted to make his life hell today, and they went out there and did that. They're going to have to do that in the weeks remaining, especially next week. Jameis Winston, a guy who's been prone to turn the football over in the past, looked really good today. Did get away with one one of those throws later on. That was egregious roughing the passer call that they had. But still, this defense is definitely good enough to be able to carry this team forward. And that's traditionally what's gone on a long time here in Carolina. We have a really solid defense with an offense and playing complementary football. That's what we hope to see from the Carolina Panthers moving forward, but a really good start for them week 1 against the Jets defensively.
Looking for consistency? Nobody more consistent than Julian Council. He hosts a daily podcast at Locked On Panthers. Julian, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, as always, Nick.